are glad you are here with us today for our Facebook Live. So
Yes, we are.
literally like 10 minutes ago, I came into our what we call our studio back here for our program that we stream through.
Okay.
And I noticed because of the time change when we had set up the event, it was saying 2:00 instead of 1, so that I'm scrambling, setting those up. And so thank you for being here. And I'm sorry if there was any confusion in the time based on a couple of the events, auto changing to the 2 p.m. instead of 1 p.m.
So wait, so StreamYard auto changed the time?
No, that Facebook did. Facebook had it set up because we set it up for 1, but because of the time change,
we set up ahead of time.
Right, because it's always, anyway.
I see. Well, thank you, everyone. Wow,
So,
we've got a good crowd on
thanks
here
for
already.
being here. We're super excited because I have a fun presentation today about the 5 best practices for selling all-inclusive honeymoon travel. How many of you here are planners of honeymoons? How many of you here plan honeymoons? Go ahead and let us know in the comments.
Right.
And also let us know where you are tuning in from.
Hey, Dawn.
And okay, so Dawn said 6. I don't know what that means.
Right.
But all right, so Denise is here. Hello, Dawn. Hello,
hey,
Lala.
Hey, Lala.
Lala's
Hello.
travel agency. Okay,
awesome.
so she's a honeymoon planner.
Awesome.
We've got somebody else who is. We have Diane.
Hey, Diane.
We have somebody here from New York. Go ahead and let us know in the comments where you're tuning in from.
Yep.
Let us know if you plan honeymoons. And then also while you're at it, why don't you let us know the most recent honeymoon you've either planned or a recent honeymoon that you are working on, like this week. Like at some point this week, you're going to be helping somebody with something specific.
Hey, look at Dawn.
All right, Dawn booked her first honeymoon today. Yay!
Congratulations, Dawn.
Where did they decide to go? Let us know.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
Suli is a honeymoon planner tuning in from rainy New Jersey. We're tuning in from cold, wintry, snowy Michigan.
Guys,
today.
we had in February in Michigan.
Hey, Nancy, it's been a while. Glad you're here today.
Hey, Nancy.
Tuning in from North Carolina.
All right. But guys, we have in February in Michigan, it was like 50 degrees and we had spring-like weather. And literally now after the first few days in March, we've had nothing but snow and cold. It's just like, it feels like we're in January. That's what Michigan does.
All right, Glenessa, hello. She plans honeymoons. She just sold on Saturday honeymoon for November for Secrets Makshay. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Congratulations, Glenessa.
Something like that. I've seen some really cool. I need to get there because every time somebody's there, I'm like drooling over it. It looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And then Suli said most recent honeymoon plan was for Cancun.
All right.
Awesome.
In late January. All right.
And then, all right, Dawn's couple decided on Majestic Elegance in Punta Cana. Fantastic.
Awesome, Dawn.
They will enjoy it. It's very tropical. It's very inviting there. And we've got Deborah tuning in.
Hey, Deborah.
From Michigan. Glad you're here today. All right.
Snowy. Deborah, is it snowing there? We are looking at nothing but snow.
Yeah.
And our driveway isn't covered, thank God, but it is completely snowy where we're at. So.
All right. Glenessa just came back from the fam to Secrets and is able to confidently sell it. Well, fantastic.
All right. Fantastic, Glenessa.
All right.
And Glenessa, I give you, we're always, to be good at something, we always have to perfect our craft, right? It doesn't matter what we're in.
Mm-hmm.
Football players that are really good, they watch film and they study the tendencies of the opponent. They're always learning. They practice certain. I know the coach of the Dolphins one time was a wide receivers coach, and one of his players said that they were amazed that he had him practicing a release. Like in football, the defender will try to stop the receiver from going down the field, and the receiver has to figure out a way to get away from that. And so this coach had him practice over and over and over again, just like a one-handed move, release. But he said it was amazing what it did. So hopefully I didn't go way off on that, but all of us are practicing our craft. So Glenessa going on fam trips, going on retreats, all of that is getting
great investment,
being better at your craft. Love it. And you've got and you just sold a honeymoon because of it.
And like she said, confidently sell it. That's awesome. Okay. We are going to do our $5 Starbucks gift card game. Bum, bum, bum.
All right.
Yay. So for those of you who are new and have never done this before, we're simply going to come up with a topic, and the first person to come up with what we are thinking of wins a $5 Starbucks gift card. You just have to message us your number after today's Facebook Live, and we'll text it over to you.
And we don't do that. It's not a trick. I promise. Get your phone number. We don't like calling anybody, but and we don't even we text you, but it's so easy.
Yeah.
Versus buying a Starbucks gift card or an e-gift card and email. It's easier to just in our
easy
phone.
Peasy. And then you have it when you're there.
I just text it to you. Yeah.
When you're there at Starbucks, you can just pull it up real fast
true.
too. And that's why we do it the way we do. Okay.
Yep.
Ready for the game question. Game question today is, what popular honeymoon destination am I thinking of?
All right.
Name the popular honeymoon destination
that
Tammy is thinking of. Go ahead and type in the comments.
Wow.
And we will see how people are doing. Hey, Pamela. Hey, Lily.
Pamela.
Hey, Felicia.
Hey, Lily and Felicia. Hello. Hello.
And we have somebody tuning in from Philadelphia. All right. Awesome. So, hey, Lori. She said,
hey, Lori.
So we've got 2 Jamaicas, Hawaii, St. Lucia, Mexico, Jamaica.
I'm surprised you used this question because popular,
Sandals,
you think someone would get it right away.
Sandals, Dominican, Tahiti, Barbados, Hawaii, St. Lucia, Aruba, Europe, Aruba.
Lots of Arubas, man.
Good. Antigua, Caribbean.
All right. But it's a specific island. So Caribbean is a lot of islands.
It's just a popup honeymoon destination.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Lou, you got to read the question.
Sorry.
Okay. Antigua, Caribbean, Fiji. The question's right up there.
Honeymoon.
What popular honeymoon destination am I thinking of?
Okay.
All right. Now let me just make sure I didn't miss any. Bora Bora, Maldives, Hawaii, Bahamas, Bora Bora, St. Croix, St. Thomas, Hawaii, Dominican Republic.
I don't even know what Tammy picked, you guys, because she didn't tell me.
No, I didn't tell him. So, all right.
I've been busy working on other stuff.
Dominican Republic, Tahiti, St. Martin.
Ooh, Tahiti.
Turks.
Hey, Lori. Love Turks too. I personally love Bahamas. I don't know why. Like, I know that Bahamas is an older.
Okay. Anybody have any other thoughts? What popular honeymoon destination am I thinking of? Italy, Fiji.
Yep, Fiji's awesome. All right. So I have a weird feeling that you are being tricky with this.
No, I'm not being tricky with it at all. Greece, that's a good one. That was one that I was thinking of. Greece, 2 Greases, Bora Bora, but that was not the one I'm thinking of when I put the game together. Mexico, lots of Bora Boras.
Barbados.
All right, does anybody want a hint?
Oh, Barbuda. Lily says Barbuda.
This is a popular honeymoon destination.
I want a hint because I just have a feeling that it might be a place in the U.S. because.
No, it's not in the U.S.
All right.
It's not in the Caribbean and it's not in the U.S.
Really? And it's a popular honeymoon look.
Rome, Italy, Puerto Rico, Curacao.
Now I'm really curious, guys.
Canary Islands, New Zealand.
Ooh, Canary Islands.
Hey, Elisa. Cool. That was a good guess, too.
Hey, Lisa, yeah.
This just goes to show this is France, Amalfi Coast, Spain.
All right.
Maldives, Thailand, Felicia.
Oh, wow. Felicia, all right. Thailand it is. Wow.
Woo, good job. All right. But yeah, wow. Maldives, Bali. So people are starting to think a little bit outside the box.
Okay.
But I wanted to do this exercise because we have to realize as honeymoon planners that this is a big world, right? And anyway, congratulations, Felicia. When we're all done today, just message me your cell number and I will text you over that Starbucks gift card. But we live in a big world and we can only know so much, right? Sure. We can't know it all. And eventually maybe we could if we focus on something specific within each area, right? But it'll take a long time to learn everything about everything. And so anyway, I just wanted to just get you to think about all of these places are what honeymooners are thinking about. They're like, should we go to Bali? What does it take to get there? How do we go to Maldives? How do we do a Thailand? How do we go to Bora Bora? Like these are things that honeymoon couples have questions about. And if you're going to specialize in that, you want to know the answers that they're going to be asking, right? The answers to the questions.
And Felicia says it's on her wish list.
On her wish list. All right. Awesome. Fantastic.
Awesome.
So I have an actual presentation that I want to buzz through today to help you guys. So get your pen and paper because we're going to be going through some tips, but I also want this to be community where you guys are pitching in and sharing any thoughts and things that you do to in your business regarding honeymoons. Okay. So we want to be collaborative. This is a community effort here today, but hopefully some of the things that I talk about will kind of get the juices flowing, get the conversation started. Okay. So,
and you guys, the other thing would be that, we're known as a destination wedding people, but honeymoons, even though they're not as big a sale normally, you can have some really expensive luxury type honeymoons, even in all inclusives. There are some really nice properties and some ways to make some good money out of selling honeymoons. So let's get you guys coached up so you can sell a few more expensive luxury honeymoons.
Right. So today we're going to be talking about 5 best practices for selling all-inclusive honeymoon travel. But really, a lot of things I'm going to be talking about today, would coincide with any type of honeymoon travel that you do, and even any type of luxury travel. Like some of these things can be, kind of cross-pollinate within what you do for your business and everything, for what you specialize in. So, all right, let's roll. I'm going to skip ahead just jumping right into the 5 best practices. So best practice number 1 is to have knowledge of a variety of resort brands that are best for honeymooners. So,
and we've got that on the screen.
Yep, it's on the screen. We're sharing the screen. And yeah, we've moved off of where we normally can see what we're doing. So hopefully
you're seeing the actual.
Let me go back just to make sure. Yep, we're good.
Good.
We're doing it right. Okay. So first thing we need to do, figure out what's best for honeymooners. So the question that we want to ask ourselves is, what do honeymoon couples want? What do honeymoon couples want? They want privacy. Honeymoon couples want romantic extras. They want perks. They want amenities, right? They want to be acknowledged that they're celebrating their honeymoon. They want to feel special. They want to be VIPs, right? And they want the best suites.
They do.
So we have to have knowledge of these things. We have to have knowledge of resorts and experiences that are going to give our couples these things. They're going to give them privacy, give them the romantic extras, give them the perks and the amenities and the best suites. And that's how we want to show that we are different than just anybody selling anything, right? We want to have the knowledge of these places that
are not just a travel agent. You're not just travel agents. You are honeymoon concierge, honeymoon designers, honeymoon dream builders. There's so many different ways that you can be different in just your label. All I know, Tammy, I want to take you to that room. Like, that is a beautiful, and the ocean. The ocean
background is alone. It's okay, let's go right now.
Amazing.
The second best practice is to understand the inclusions and the requirements to qualify for honeymoon packages. As experts, it's our job to ensure that these couples qualify for the honeymoon package. So what does that mean? We need to know, not only do we need to know what the honeymoon packages are that are offered at these particular resorts, we need to make sure that we know the terms and conditions. 1, how they can receive it. 2, how they qualify for it. We need to know how to take care of those things. And what I want you to do when you're booking a honeymoon, when you're when you're researching for a honeymoon and you've talked to your couple, you've consulted with them, and you have a really great idea of the types of things that they are looking for, and you've heard some things that they would really love. They would love a spa treatment. They would absolutely love a romantic candlelight dinner, or breakfast in bed, or all of these little perks and things, right? So then all right, I should go with a place that has a really great honeymoon package that includes all of that. So then you need to make sure that you're looking at those terms and conditions, because when you're sending a quote and you're saying, hey, I think you'd really love this swim up suite at XYZ resort. Well, what if that swim up suite doesn't qualify them for the honeymoon package? You need to know the honeymoon package first.
True.
And the qualifications for the honeymoon package first. And then you need to give them a recommendation of a room. And then you need to let them know, this is why I'm recommending this room, right? And even if it's $500 more than the swim up suite, even if it's $500 over their budget, if you can show them the value of what they're getting because of that honeymoon package, then they're going to be able to, they'll say yes to that, right? That's our job. We don't want them missing out. We don't want to just look at it from, oh, this is the price point they want,
Right.
and so they'll be happy with this room. No, because then we could screw up and they could miss out on like an $800 to $1,000 value honeymoon package that they could have qualified for. And now they got to pay for all these things that they would normally would have just gotten handed to them
Right.
in their honeymoon package. Okay, the third best practice is to create special experiences tailored to what matters to them.
Gotcha. Hey, and that bottom picture is one of our actual couples.
It is.
That is one of our couples on either their honeymoon or
Yep,
it was
in
their
their
wedding.
honeymoon.
All
Yep,
right,
it was
all
their
right.
honeymoon.
They're
in
riding
Jamaica.
horses in Jamaica.
So what can you do to create special experiences for your clients, right? And Lou kind of hit this on the nail just a little bit ago, calling you a concierge. So that's really what we need to do.
Yeah, I mean, again, we've talked about this before in our 20K program, and that no matter what you specialize in travel, whether it's going to be destination weddings, like all of our 20K program are, or in honeymoons, or more, not just a honeymoon, right? More of your luxury, your really honeymoon designer builder. Travel agent is seen as an order taker in today's world. I mean, people look at Expedia as almost a travel agent in some ways, as a electronic one. So you need to differentiate yourself. You are better than Expedia. You're better than an order taker. You design and come up with customized packages and experiences that match their personality and their honeymoon dream. That's what you do. And you need to market yourself that way.
Right. So upgraded transfers, VIP welcomes, right? Couples massages, those romantic experiences that you can have set up for them. Setting up any offsite excursion, recommending things like, hey, if you're going to go to Jamaica, you don't want to miss out on seeing the YS waterfalls, or you don't want to miss out on seeing Dunn's River waterfalls. Like, you need to be able to guide them in selecting experiences that that they would regret if they didn't see it and experience it after being there.
That was fun when we weren't on our honeymoon and we went to Jamaica and we did the YS Falls. Sorry, that was great. It was called the land of water and wood and water. There was a tour, so we had lunch and then we went on this boat ride. And then we went on
the Black River,
River.
So this is on the west coast.
On the west coast of Jamaica, and then the guy put his hand in the water and there was this alligator across the way, crocodile, sorry.
Yeah.
And he put his hand in the water and he says, come. And the alligator got up.
The crocodile,
Patricia, she had a name. She got off the shore and swam out to the boat. And then of course he gave her chicken, and then we all got to feed her. But anyway, of course it was trained, hey, if he says, come, I'm getting some chicken.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that was I just remember, and then we went to the YS Falls. It was one of our great, I still have memory. Well, obviously I'm explaining.
Right. This was
this happened
10 years ago.
And I'm explaining. So anytime that you can create a memory for your wedding couple like that, for a honeymoon couple, and you tell them what great memories they're going to have forever at it, it's a win for you. And then afterwards, they're going to remember that and recommend you.
Right.
Because they're going to be like, man, we had such a good time on our honeymoon. Oh yeah, that Tammy at Paradise Getaway, she did such a good job. And they're going to be evangelist for you. They're going to be your own business evangelist. You do a good job for people and they're going to be evangelizing you, which saves you money because guess what? When your own customers are marketing you, that's less money you have to pay in marketing for yourself.
That's right. Okay. So one of the things that I do before my clients depart, so what I do is I set myself a reminder for 1 week prior to my clients leaving, or if they leave on a Saturday, then I, do it like the Friday before, and I contact the on-site sales team or the on-site concierge, or I'll do a CC and I just, and have both of them in the email. I send out an email. I let them know, hey, I've got VIP honeymooners coming. Yep. Here's, their names. This is their reservation number. Here's when they're arriving. Following up then on any requests that they have. Let's say they specifically wanted a quiet room location. They specifically wanted a top room floor, whatever, any special requests that I have for them. And then saying, hey, just want to make sure everything's good with their honeymoon amenities. Can you roll out the red carpet for my clients? I usually say our mutual clients, right? And then, And then obviously letting them know, if there's any issues or questions, then, I'm the contact for while the clients are there. So that's, you're kind of partnering with that on-site team. But then I ask them, hey, if you wouldn't mind, would you be willing to put a note and a treat for me in their room on my behalf for when they arrive? And then I just go on with
Always
my
a nice
email
touch.
saying, if so, please have the note read. And then I will type out exactly what I want the note to read. And then what they will do is they will have somebody on their team handwrite a note, have a treat like maybe a fruit plate or a champagne, chocolate covered strawberry, something in the room from me with this handwritten note that it looks like it comes from me. It looks like I hand wrote a note and sent it to where Jamaica or whatever. So couples really, really love that. So just that going that extra mile. So I kind of have a template that I follow when I do that. But then I just put a reminder in my calendar to send that, about a week before my clients depart.
And I know it really does wow people. And hopefully, again, when you work with good properties, they will follow through and do that for you. Most of them have done that for Tammy. Usually you check, I think, too.
Oh yeah. Well, my couples will, they'll text me and they'll be like, did you give this to us? Sometimes,
that's right.
Sometimes they'll forget to put my name, or they'll just text me and they'll say, oh my gosh, thank you so much. What a nice surprise. Or they'll tag me on social media. It's a good thing, right?
That's the other
people
thing,
to
guys.
tag you on social media.
Right. When they get there and they're excited and they put it on social media, they might even mention your name. Oh, I want to thank Tammy from Paradise Getaways for this amazing welcome gift. Well, now you've got all their friends and family that are getting married or that could be having a honeymoon. And they're, it's just, again, it's ways.
It's a good reminder of why it's different. Booking travel with a honeymoon specialist and with a real individual who cares about them versus just booking online.
Or an order
nobody even cares. Nobody even knows that they're honeymooners when they book online, right? They could put notes in their reservation and special instructions till the cows come home. But if the wrong person, if nobody reads it, number one, and the wrong person reads it, then it's not going to benefit you in any way, right? As a consumer. So, okay. So the fourth best practice is to sell a honeymoon by painting a picture of the experience they will have. So Lou loves telling the story about one of our Sandals BDMs when we first got started and how she would do this.
So, when we got started in the business years ago, we did things the hard old-fashioned way before we, knew how to market online. And we went ahead and we partnered. And it was still a good idea because we at least were trying to maximizing our investment in wedding shows. But when we did a lot of wedding shows, we would be up in another city in Michigan doing these wedding shows because they were bigger and more people were coming to them. And anyway, we partnered with a wedding shop where we did Caribbean nights or honeymoon nights. We call that a honeymoon night. And we did it with Sandals because they were willing to offer it. And again, we were new. So we went up to this wedding shop and we invited, all of us combined our list together. We invited our co-list to come and come look at dresses and wedding attire and all that, and then come to the honeymoon presentation. So it was it was a win-win for all of us. And they came to the presentation, and then we had the Sandals.
And then the Sandals BDM did the presentation.
Right.
Even better.
She did the presentation.
We didn't have to do it.
Her name was Kate. She was amazing. I think last I knew she lived in the Texas area. But Kate, she used to be in Chicago and she moved. She was our BDM. She got married and left Sandals anyway. But she was amazing. And she would say something like, I remember to this day how good it was. She'd be like, so I want you to picture yourself, you and your honey bunny, and you're there in your honeymoon and you walk around the corner and there's a candlelit dinner waiting for you, and you're shocked, you can't even believe, and your honey set this all up without you even knowing it, and it's so romantic, and you're there, and now you're served.
You're hearing the sound of the ocean waves and the bouncing of the moon, of the moonlight bouncing on the, just painting the
you're
picture.
You're hearing the violin player play the violin, or she'd say, and then afterwards, and you're walking the beach, there's a fire pit, and you just decide to just sit with you and your honey bunny on the dock and just sit by the fire and cuddle. So she would really be good.
She'd put you there, right? So rather than just saying, oh, you could do a candlelight dinner, or, oh, you could get a couples massage, or, oh, you could, enjoy, they have fire pits at the resort, right? Instead of listing it out like it's just a feature, you're really positioning it to be sold and helping this couple envision themselves there. So here's the example
Yeah.
that I have in my presentation. Imagine enjoying your favorite cocktail and sitting by an oceanfront fire pit, watching the sunset and toasting to your future, right? Rather than just there are fire pits there. The resort has
Right.
fire pits, right? So we want to, that's how you sell essentially, is by, you sell with painting a picture, you sell with giving people that, you know, getting them to envision themselves in the situation.
And imagine, you know, sometimes you might be wanting to sell them a property that is more expensive than others, right? Let's say you're trying to LeBlanc. Let's try you're trying to sell them a LeBlanc honeymoon. Well, LeBlanc is amazing for a honeymoon because it's so, but it's up there in price. And so, you know, but you say, oh, imagine, you know, the view from your room, romance, it's your honeymoon. You wake up and you're just going to look out and see nothing but the blue ocean right in front of your eyes. It's in the breeze, and you're going to hear the waves, and you're just waking up in each other's arms. Like,
well,
you know,
or like
you can
butler
describe
service.
things like that.
When you think about like butler service, right? Before I experienced butler service, it was really hard for me to sell it.
Sure.
But once I experienced it, it was a lot easier for me to sell it because I had this more tangible description or picture or story of what would happen, right? So there was a night when Lou on the sly, I'm in the shower, he's contacting the butler, calling up the butler and saying, hey, we're going to XYZ for dinner. We should probably be back to our suite by this certain time. Can you do something romantic for us? We would love to, you know, maybe some romantic, whatever you told him to do.
Well, I had our butler come in, and while we were at dinner, they decorated the room. They put rose petals down. They drew like the jacuzzi tub with the bubble bath, put rose petals on that. They had a bottle of sparkling wine waiting for us, and I was able to set all that up.
And the whirlpool, I think we had like champagne out by the whirlpool because we had an outdoor, we had a whole retreat suite that we had one time. So that's that, instead of, you know, because most people have like an idea of what a butler would do, and so they just right away say they don't need a butler until you tell them what a butler does and how it's going to enhance their experience, right? So the fifth thing,
that might have been, I think that was it. Was that in Antigua?
The fifth best practice to selling honeymoon travel is to be able to answer this question: why should I book with you versus booking on my own? Like, who are you? So if any of you have ever experienced somebody asking you this question, you know how like you got to be on the ready for this answer. So hopefully, if you stop and think about some of the things that we've already talked about today, you can see the benefit of booking with you versus somebody booking on their own. The first thing I want you to understand when it comes to this concept is anyone can book travel. Anyone can book travel.
Anyone that has travel credentials can book travel.
No, but a consumer
can
book travel.
No, you're right. People can DIY.
Anyone can book travel.
People can DIY.
That's not what we do.
Right.
You are not somebody who books travel.
You're curating an experience for these people. Like, you are creating the honeymoon of their dreams.
Yes.
Not just a trip, another trip. This is their honeymoon. It has to be right. And are they going to really want to trust? And you could say this. Listen, this isn't just any other trip. You could go on Expedia and book 3 nights at the Rio if you want to, but this is your honeymoon. I mean, you want this to be perfect. This should wow. You should be wowing each other on this honeymoon. This should be something you're going to remember for a lifetime, not just you went on a vacation somewhere. Right.
So we have to educate the consumer and the people who follow us and all of that stuff on what it is that we do. Right. And so some of the things that I just talked about today, those are the things that you do. Okay. So you need to, if you didn't take notes, try to write down as many things as you can remember, because that's what sets you apart. But let's talk about how we can show them that we're more than just a booking agent. I think that one of the things that we have to do is have some processes in place. One, we need to consult with couples. We don't just start answering questions. We don't just start an open-ended email or an open-ended DM. We have them schedule a consultation with us. Yes. The second thing we do is we charge a professional planning fee.
Right. Even for a honeymoon.
Even for a honeymoon. Okay. Sets the tone. We have the contract. We send them the contract. We send them the invoice. They hire us, and then we do the research. Okay. This is our process. The third thing you want to do is have a list of services. You want to list out, just like we teach you in the 20K system and toolkit, all of the things that you are going to be doing on their behalf when they choose to partner with you and hire you for their honeymoon planning. So you have a list of services that you send them. Again, just reinforcing and reminding them of the value that you're providing.
Right.
And then you sell your services. That's how you sell your services, by having these processes in place, by being an expert, by having the knowledge, by doing the extra things to make their experience better, to make their experience memorable. This is how you have lifelong clients.
Yeah.
Lifelong clients who will come to you in the future. So quick few bonus tips, and then we'll go to some questions. So
all right.
Bonus tips are when some things that I do, best practices that I do is when I'm getting a new client, I get all of their details up front. Okay, so they decide they want to work with me after they sign the contract and do the PayPal invoice. When they're giving me their details for me to do the contract, I have all their information. Names is listed on passports, dates of birth, any TSA, like their known traveler numbers, anything like that. I want to have that up front, because if I find an amazing package and I'm like, holy cow, I can't believe this is such a great deal, right? We're in the middle of this all the time. We know when we see a good deal.
Right.
We know what we find. I want to be able to hold that for them and say, hey, this checks off all the boxes. I would not hesitate with this package. First of all, it's going to save us a whole lot of time and grief. Second of all, they're going to love it and be happy and be so glad that you were on their side. Okay.
Right.
So I get all their information up front.
Yep.
The second thing I do as a best practice is, if possible, I check the rate before applying their balance payment. So let's say they put their deposit down for their honeymoon and their balance is due like 6 weeks before their trip. Before they make that balance payment, if at all possible, as long as the room is still available, I go in for the land only portion. You can't price match or do any pricing adjustments on flights, but I go in and I see if the price is different. Now, I want you to understand what I mean by this. If the price is lower and I can get my clients a lower price, I'm going to give them the lower price. But what I won't do is jeopardize my commission. Right. I'm still in business and I still want to make a profit, right? So if by bringing the price down, it brings my commission down a certain amount, then I will add a service fee to make sure that I'm not losing money. I'm making the same amount of money or maybe a little bit more by the time it's all said and done. Does that make sense? The other thing that you want to make sure that you do is prepare your clients for travel. I have like a travel tips and reminders list that I do. That's kind of like a templated thing that I copy and paste, and I make a few little adjustments. But people need to be told how to prepare for travel so that they're not calling you the night before they're leaving or early in the morning when they're traveling, not knowing where things are, not knowing that they were supposed to fill out this certain authorization form, not understanding that they should have done their online check-in because now their flight was delayed, or their flight schedule changed, or they missed their flight because their flight schedule changed, whatever it might be. We need to prepare our clients for travel. And then you want to send them a welcome home greeting when they get back. And I do have an automated system for that. And that's also a way that I can, get a review if what they tell me is good, and also get some photos and that sort of thing that I can use. So there we go. So what questions does anybody have? Or did you want to add any thoughts, Lou?
Just that, all these things, we know that most of you that are in our community have sold the honeymoons, before destination weddings, and most of you are in our program for destination weddings, but there's so many ways to get better, even more honeymoon sales, higher end honeymoon sales too, so that at least when you're booking a honeymoon, it is making you more money, so that you're not having to book 30 little honeymoons, but you can book, again, 5 to 10 or 20 really nice, more expensive honeymoons.
And something that I've found over the years too, sometimes we put a lot of stress on ourselves when people give us a budget, and we're diving in and we're looking and we're just like, this is not going to happen. Like, they're going to have a crappy experience if I recommend this, like, we have to be okay with letting people know, keeping them informed. Like, this is what I'm finding. We're likely going to need to increase your budget by X amount of dollars, whatever it might be. Or when the perfect place for them, and it's going to be even $2,000 more than what they said they wanted to spend, like send it to them. Send it
Yeah.
to them. All you're going to do is just say, I know that this is over what you talked about, but I couldn't resist letting you know about this place because it really checks off all the boxes. I think it's absolutely everything that you're looking for. It's
Yeah.
going to give you the experience that you want. And I just wanted to make sure that you were aware that this was an available option. I highly recommend it. And then they can decide if it's worth it to them to come up with those funds.
And I think Sandals always teaches this good and I don't know if they still do I haven't seen any CSS training this last year come across our inbox, but used to be at the training, they'd always tell you, don't be afraid to, don't pre-qualify them, right? Don't think they can't afford it and never give it to them. Because sometimes when people, again, I know we say this all the time, but people pay for what they want. And sometimes they can get resourceful to have what they want.
Yes.
So you could send them that overwater bungalow and like, I know this is crazy. You probably can't, you wouldn't say you can't afford it. You just say, it's just something, I think it's everything you guys would want, but it is over your budget. Let me know what you think. And suddenly they can be like, oh my gosh,
yeah,
I love it. What do we have to do to make it happen? Right. Don't pre-qualify your people. Send them a more expensive option just to see if they might take it.
And don't operate ever from your own pocketbook on anything.
Right.
We have to take those lenses off when we're looking for something. So what you want to find is, would I personally pay? The question you always want to ask is, would I personally pay this much money to go to this particular place for that particular room? And then when you feel confident saying I would, then you've got yourself, because we can get, really great prices, so we get spoiled. But if you can say that with all honesty, like, yeah, I actually would pay $10,000 to go here.
Yeah.
Then you know that you can in confidence recommend that to your clients.
And then we have a couple people asking just a couple questions, but sorry, it looked like Lily said it was breaking up.
So it's on somebody said it's on my wish list, but
that was for
Thailand.
Yep.
Glenessa, do you have standard language for your notes? I always struggle with this. Is it breaking up for others? I don't see any other questions. I see people here. So does anybody have any questions at all?
But Glenessa is asking about, did we answer her?
Oh, I thought somebody was asking Glenessa that.
No, Glenessa is asking us.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry, Glenessa.
I'm like, I'm thinking somebody's saying, hey, Glenessa, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
My apologies. Do you have standard language for your notes? I always struggle with this. Yes, I do have standard language for your notes. For my notes that I do, I basically just say, especially for like a honeymoon couple, I, address them by name. Congratulations. Welcome to, welcome to the resort, whatever the name of the resort is. So excited for you. And then, I'll say whatever I feel like that the couple needs, because your couple at that point, right? What was the purpose of their honeymoon? Like, were they needing something energetic, needing something fun and exhilarating and adventurous, or were they looking for something that's going to give them that time to connect? Then I'll use language based on that. Like, I truly hope that you have an amazing, relaxing, romantic time of your lives. Reconnecting. And then I sign it, have fun, stay safe.
But psychologically, what that does is almost a subliminal message that, hey, I know exactly what you want and I can give it to you. And so when someone is looking at their contract and they've had the consultation and they're considering hiring you, just even that small statement of, well, I can't wait to, I know that you can have a relaxing, romantic, whatever the buzzwords they drop to you, use those in your notes. And you're reminding them, I understand exactly what you want and I can get it to you. And that is no small little psychological help when someone's pulling out their credit card. It's a good thing.
Right. Exactly. And then you just reinforce that you had a great relationship. At this point, you reinforce that you've listened, you've cared, you're there for them. You truly hope the best for them. Sometimes I'll say, many best wishes for lifelong happiness, those types of things. And then I just sign it. I try to keep it as short as possible.
Little personal touches go a long way.
But that's pretty much, but really whatever, you want to say specifically to anybody. And it's really just like more of a real welcome, congratulations, have a great time. You're going to make great memories. Best wishes for your future. That's pretty much the gist of the note.
Sure. Well, I hope anyone else have any last questions. I just hope you heard. It looks like it's weird because what we're seeing is nothing's really moved. So then hopefully we're not talking into something that got disconnected. But
It says we're
but
live.
it looks like we're live and everybody's there. But the last comment is Lily saying, "Is it breaking up?" So if anyone's still there, that'd be great. If you want to say we're still here or hi, because we're just worried that we didn't. Oh, thank God.
Okay.
Thank you, Dawn. All right.
What do you
you're
normally
there.
charge for a consultation? So consultations are free. I do not charge anything for a consultation, because that's how I get people to work with me. At the end of the consultation,
Yeah.
because again, it's just like the destination wedding consultation. I'm asking a bunch of questions. I'm really getting to know what they're looking for, what's important to them. Then at the end of the consultation, I let them know what my services are, how I work. And then then I let them know, when we're done here on the call, I'm going to send you an email with my list of services. If you have any questions about my services, let me know. But if you'd like to move forward, I'll give you instructions on next steps to work with me. And then I send out the email with my list of services, with the instructions on what to do. And then they sign the contract, they send in their invoice, and then I can start researching and giving real recommendations.
Oh, good. People are here.
Lisa said, great info.
Good, you're all here.
Awesome.
Thank God. And so it's still Facebook
All
users
right.
are still here. Yes.
Denise, Ida Marquis. Okay.
Yeah, Ida
awesome.
Marquis. Yes, Denise. Good, you're still here.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for being here today, and we're glad this was good information, and hopefully it started, jogging some ideas for you to make your honeymoon business better and more successful.
Right. Oh, okay.
To use service fee list. So,
do we have a service fee list?
So with my service fee for my services with Honeymoons, for those of you who are on our 20K system and toolkit, I have it set up very similar to my destination wedding services, but just honeymoon related. And then at the end of listing all of the things that I would do for them is where I would write that the professional planning fee to hire Tama Santini, honeymoon destination wedding designer, for your, I don't remember exact words, is blank amount of money. So, and then I have different, I just usually I will have different lists, different prices depending on
complexity.
The complexity.
Like a basic honeymoon, I think you charge what, $250? Mm-hmm. $250, but they can go as high as $1,000 depending on how. If you're doing inner island or going to Fiji or Bora Bora.
I don't know if I've ever charged that much. I think I've only charged $500 as a max. But usually with Hawaii, I'm not going to let somebody with an unrealistic Hawaii budget to Hawaii hire me, and then I'll have like a $500 planning fee for Hawaii. Does that make sense? So like it kind of goes hand in hand, where I'm going to get a good amount of money up front for my professional planning fee, but I also know that I'm going to have a really killer commission just based on the sales volume. Sure.
And you're welcome, Diane. You're welcome. I'm glad you guys liked it. We debated, should we do something honeymoon? We don't want people, we didn't have as many people show up to this one, but we thought, you know what, though, you're still making money on it, and it's still something that can be profitable. So anything that's going to be profiting your businesses, we want to give you that information. And to remind you, as Profit tomorrow, for all of our new 20K, we have 33 so far brand new 20K people that have joined. We have our first laser coaching tomorrow. We're going to get into the modules, so I can't wait to see all of you there. Mm-hmm. And then there's a few veterans that are coming back tomorrow that life happened and got in their way, and kind of slowed down the progress. So we always like to be compassionate to people. We want you all to succeed. That's the number one.
And then, John, my sample list of services for honeymoons, is it in the 20K downloads? I don't think I have my honeymoon one in there.
Deborah,
I know we have. That was for Dawn.
Oh, sorry, Dawn.
I
saw Deborah. Hey,
I put in there the example like consultation questions. So those are in the 20K downloads.
No, I thought we did make a honeymoon. We did make a honeymoon questionnaire.
Right, that's the questionnaire, but not the list of services.
Okay.
So
but Dawn, it would be very similar to just, again, all the things you're going to do for them. You're going to try to have VIP check-in. You're going to try to set them up, which you want to put welcome gift or not, probably, because that's supposed to be a shop.
No, VIP status is, I put things like VIP status, for at the resort,
Coordination of all travel
guiding them with
logistics.
honeymoon packages, making sure they have them, setting up excursions, romantic experiences like candlelight dinners. Like so a lot of the things that we talked about today, I just have those like kind of anything that you can do to make it look like you do a lot. When you have
Right.
a list of things, like even though for us, we're just like, well, this is just what we do. But for your potential client, it's
You're
like,
doing a lot.
wow, okay, now I see,
Right.
because all these things are listed, why they would charge what they charge.
Right.
Like we're making logical sense in
Right.
their minds when they see all the things that you do for them.
So you can but you could take that destination wedding list of services and take what applies to a honeymoon and just edit it. And you could also say, like researching top honeymoon properties and giving you at least three beginning recommendations, and then more as your preferences come in, or whatever you would say, once we decide on a resort, looking for the best all around value for you, securing honeymoon amenities,
right,
making sure that you have everything you need for those, reminders. You can list out a whole bunch of stuff you would do for
payment
them.
plans, the whole thing. So yeah. All right. Felicia said, thanks, Lynn and Tammy, for recommendation to present options to clients that are outside of their budget when it fits what they want.
Oh, you're welcome.
I have struggled with that, but it's true. They need to know those better options. They do, because the last thing we want is for somebody to realize after the fact that they could have gone somewhere else and had a different experience.
Yeah.
That they were so focused on price that they didn't allow themselves to really have what they wanted, and they ultimately compromised. We want to have that caring. We're coming at this not just from a standpoint of, oh, I'm going to make more money if I sell this to them. No, this is actually exactly what they want. Like, this is going to be, they will love this. And if you get excited about it because it's like, oh my gosh, this is perfect, they're going to love this. It's just the price. Well, I feel obligated at that point. Like, I got to let you know that this is available, because, I would never want you to miss out on something that could really, be your dream honeymoon.
And that is true. You see, what they want from the consultation. If you see something that's more expensive, but it's exactly what they want, and you just tell them you're excited, hey, listen, this is exactly what you want. I mean, I'm always going to get as close as I can with your budget, but just take a look at this. You'd be surprised how many people would be like, that isn't what we want. We're going to figure it out. I just asked my dad to help pay for it, or whatever, my aunt, whatever, they do. So.
Right. People can become resourceful.
Yeah. Well, how many has that happened to us too? You guys, I was in the vacuum store the other day. They do have vacuum stores still. But we have a fancier vacuum because we used to have trouble with cheap ones always breaking.
Right.
So we figured we might as well spend a lot on one and have it last for years than buy a new one every 2 years. It's going to equal out.
Right.
Well, then again, maybe I should just be buying cheap ones anyway. I shouldn't have said that. But when I went there, I came because our vacuum cleaner was not working. Right. So I carried it in like a patient, and I'm like, we have a bleeder here. Anyway, and the guy thought that was funny. He's a unique dude that owns this shop. He was kind of like, that's very funny. Anyway, so then he takes me over to this other spot in the vacuum place, and I'm like, why are we over here? Your counter's empty. Why are we not just going to your counter? Well, I want to plug it in and test it, right? He's a very good salesman, but I'm in sales, so I know a little bit what's happening. So then he plugs it in, he puts these anyway, and he's like, well, would you like to see the newest model? I mean, you can get this fixed, but would you like to see, like, this is like the Batman of vacuum cleaners. Would you like to see Superman? Well, I don't have a lot of time, but sure, show me Superman. And it was very impressive. Now, I didn't want to pay that much money. So bottom line is, he didn't sell me on Superman, but it's a technique where when you show, but I am in sales. The normal person might have completely fallen for that, but I study marketing, right? I help you guys at marketing, so I know the game. But he was good at least trying to pivot me into a better, more expensive vacuum cleaner.
Right.
But I was like, at that point, I'm like, I'm not rebuying. I don't want to rebuy my vacuum cleaner plus $400, So I just wanted to get it repaired. So anyway, but people do it all the time. And most people that aren't savvy to it, a lot of them, when you get them emotionally, especially with a honeymoon, you guys, or a wedding, talk about emotion.
Right.
You have so much more emotional leverage with a honeymoon or wedding than you ever do with a physical product.
Right.
So.
Right. Or even just a regular vacation.
or a regular vacation.
To be
Absolutely.
honest. So, all right, guys.
What's the
well,
bottom line?
everyone, the wow factor, I already shared that.
Oh, yes.
Guests love it when they see it in writing. Yes,
Good point.
indeed. Okay, guys. Well, have a great day. Great Monday. And stay connected in the Facebook group. Stay connected via social.
Yes.
And for those of you who are brand new, we will see you tomorrow for
20K.
our first laser coaching session with us at 4:00 Eastern.
All right. Yep. We will see everyone. Some of you tomorrow, and the rest you will see next week, next Monday, same time, same place.
All right. See
1
ya.
o'clock.